Hello everyone, my name is Andreea BARBU and I'm a teaching engineering assistant at University Polytechnic of Bucharest from Romania, and today I will present you the paper called Analysis of the Influence of Process Performance on Organizational Performance with Evidence from Romania. Performance is a key concept for any organization, and lately it has begun to become a priority for both business management and researchers that are focusing on organizational performance, process performance, and even on activity performance. Managers want to provide the best products and services to customers, increasing the company's revenues, but at the same time, they aim to streamline their internal operation. Reduce costs and increase the company's productivity. The researchers come to the aid of the companies and carry out activities to understand what influences the performance of the company, what is the level of performance of the company, and what could be the most effective methods for a company to improve its performance. The problem is that there are not many papers that analyze how exactly some processes affect business performance and what processes contribute the most to increase business performance. Thus, the main objective of this paper is to determine the most important processes within the service company that contribute to increase organizational performance. In this regard, the authors conducted a qualitative research on employees from the professional service companies from Romania, using a questionnaire to measure the perception of the respondents. For collecting the data, it was used a questionnaire that can be divided into 10 sections. 8 sections focus on the main processes within a service company, 1 section analyzes organizational performance, and 1 section is used to analyze demographic data. The processes that were analyzed in this paper are supply process, human resources management process, financial accounting process, marketing and sale process, service delivery process, customer service process, management process, and also innovation process. For each process, as it can be seen in this table, the following variables were analyzed: the perceived level of the process performance, the level of process importance within the service company, and the perceived performance level of the process according to time, flexibility, quality, cost, and also transparency. For the mentioned variables, the items were measured on a 5-point Likert type scale, ranging from 1, totally disagreement, to 5, totally agreement. Also, for the organizational performance concept, the authors studied different aspects of performance from different sources, like the award for quality and also organizational excellence. Thereby, the variables that were used to describe organizational performance are profitability, income, market share, service quality, customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, processes, and also groups of interest. The sample of the research paper was represented by 150 employees working in service companies in Romania, Bucharest, where the largest share of respondents were having executive position within the company. Most of the companies were in the following sectors, like IT, commerce, financial and banking, constructions, or even transport. About half of the firms survived are on the market for more than 10 years, while 26% have less than 3 years since their establishment. We test the internal consistency of the questionnaire items by using the Cronbach-Alpha coefficients. For our study, the Cronbach-Alpha coefficients are higher than 0.7, which means that the variables included in the research have a good internal consistency. In this table, you can see the relationship between performance and company processes. For example, in the case of the model 1, the value of the R-square coefficient is 0.209, This value indicates that the variation of the organizational performance is explained in a proportion of 20.9% by performance of the supply process, which in this case is the independent variable. Well, the smallest value was found in the model 6, where the variation of the organizational performance is explained in a proportion of only 20% by the variation of providing support services performance. Here you can see the relationship between organizational performance and also processes performance. And by analyzing the 8 models in this figure, it can be said that all the 8 processes influence the organizational performance, while the organizational performance is strongly correlated with the performance of the following processes. The second process, the process 2, and also the process 4. The process 2 is human resources management process, and process 4 is marketing and sales process. Well, in order to see which processes can be described to develop an equation describing the performance of service organization, the authors used the SPSS statistical program to provide a statistical model corresponding to multiple linear regression. It was found that for most models, the value of R square is about 0.5, which means that the independent variable associated with the tested models explained 50% of the organizational performance. The highest value of adjusted R square is 0.503 for model 6, which means that 50.3% of the variance of the dependent variable was explained by the variance of the independent variable. Here also you can see that Model 6 contains the following independent variables: the performance of the human resources management process, and the performance of the financial accounting process, and also the performance of the marketing and sale process. This model 6 being the only statistically relevant model for this analysis. According to the analysis presented before, we discovered that organizational performance can be defined with the help of human resource management, financial accounting, marketing and sale performance. This means that for each increase with 1 unit of human resource management process performance, the organizational performance will increase by 0.220, and for each increase with 1 unit of the financial accounting process performance, the organizational performance will increase by 0.172, and for each increase with 1 unit of the performance of the marketing and sale process, the organizational performance will increase by 0.267. Well, for conclusions, we can say that the results of this study indicate that taken individually, each of the 8 analyzed processes influences the organizational performance of the service companies. Moreover, 3 important processes need to come to the attention of the management of the service providers, these being human resources management, marketing and sales, and also the financial accounting process, those being processes that influence the most the organizational performance. In this regard, the management of the companies should pay more attention to human resources, to find specialists in the field, people with experience who have both technical knowledge and soft skills to be able to interact as best as possible in a team. The correlations that were found in this study also indicates that by providing the performance of the human resources management process, the management of a company can increase the organizational performance. Also, companies should invest more in ensuring good financial accounting process, finance performance being one of the most important dimensions of the organizational performance. Furthermore, marketing and sales processes are very important for every type of company. This document being that one that helps businesses to create added value, to develop services according to customers' need, to grow the customer portfolio, to achieve profitability. Thus, the management of the service companies should focus on improving the activities from this department to increase the organizational performance. Despite the information presented, the results of this study must be interpreted and put into practice with great care. The study being a pilot one, an exploratory one, and has some limitation. For example, the respondents of the questionnaire are employees with both management or executive positions. Taking into account that this paper analyzed the respondents' perceptions, the results might have been different if the respondents were only employees with management position. In the literature, there are a lot of ways to describe organizational performance, this concept being a complex one. For this paper, the authors used information from several papers and the words for quality and organizational excellence, the variable resulting from the research and chosen by the authors being profitability, income, market share, service quality, customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, processes, and groups of interest. And also only 8 processes within a company providing services were investigated. In this case, in the future, the authors will focus more on the processes that will be individually analyzed from several perspectives to determine how they can more contribute to improvement of the organization, to the improvement of the organizational performance in the field of services. Thank you for your attention.